Good evening. Welcome. I am Kamau Kujichagulia, and I welcome you to the On the Case with Kamau Kujichagulia, where each week we talk with someone of interest here in our community about what they do, here in our community. This week we're going to have a brother who's a entrepreneur par excellence. I might add. He's Jeff Augustin. He was Deals Deals Deals. And if you're from the city of Trenton, if you've been downtown on State and Broad Street, you know all about Deals Deals Deals. But we're gonna find out more about him as we get into the show. What did I want? I wanted to say something about. I wanted to talk. We got to have a show. Well, I don't know whether we have to have a show or not. Maybe I'll just talk about white supremacy, racism here in America. Because the other night I woke up in the middle of the night. You see, every now and again it wakes me up. It just grabs hold of me and it shakes me and it makes me understand exactly what it means, what white supremacy, what this system of white supremacy means. Martin Luther King talked about racism, and he said that it was the ultimate goal of racism is genocide. And that's true. I believe that to be true, that the ultimate goal of racism is genocide. And, a lot of people, they look at me when I say something like that, and they say, oh, man, you're being too dramatic. You're too far out there. But, the white supremacists of this world have been killing Black people in massive numbers for centuries. I mean, you go back to the times of the slave trade. It's been said that up to anywhere between 30 and 100 million Black people died during the Biafra, during the coming from Africa to America. That's a pretty good indication of genocide. Any place in the world, by any definition, that would be considered genocide. And that the numbers may have gone down, but they have continued in massive numbers for another 400 years after that, or including that, to continue to kill Black people under the wheel of white supremacy. And we really need to get to be serious about that, because it hasn't stopped. Right now, we have Black people dying from stress, Black people dying from poor health conditions, poor living conditions, poor economic conditions. I mean, and these things can be stopped. They can be stopped, boom, anytime. But the system has deemed that they're going to continue to go on. And, and I'm not even worried about me anymore, but damn it, I have grandchildren. And, this system is every bit as oppressive on their shoulders as it is on mine. So we're going to have conversation. I know that the powers that be in this city don't want to talk about it. They look at Kamau Kujichagulia and they looking like, oh no, you got to stay away from that brother. We can't support him because he's talking about the system of white supremacy. He's talking about white supremacy. And people have the idea that they got to go along to get along, and going along with genocide ain't what we need to be doing. So anyway, we're gonna have to have more conversations about that. I want to bring in my son, Michael Harmon, so that we can get ready. Hello, son.
What's up, Pop? How you doing?
How are you?
I'm well. How you doing? How you feeling?
Well, I feel better. I feel better.
Good.
I'm all right. Seeing that you and my wife take good care of me, so I'm all right. You know what I mean? I hear you got us a good brother on here this evening.
A very good brother, man. He does.
Well, let's bring him on.
He does excellent business.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I can't complain.
It's good to see you, man.
Very good. Now you have. I remember meeting you a few years ago, probably about 2017, 2018, when you were on on the corner of Stockton, right across the street from City Hall, right? That's where you opened your first store?
That was where my first store was at.
Yes, sir. I remember meeting you back in those days, and I said, "This brother's on the ball." Because I mean, you definitely supported what I was doing with Nubian News, and you know, I was always thrilled to be around you. But I tell you what, for the people that don't know anything about you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got where you're at?
I mean, basically, I'm not from Trenton, New Jersey. I believe this started way before, about 20 years ago, I would say. This started a long time ago as far as wanting to become an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur in a different sense, meaning that I used to sell drugs. So I always used to compare the two. And in my mind, I always used to say that I want to flip the game, meaning that what I was doing illegally, I wanted to eventually one day do it legally. And I think that's pretty much how I started, how the dream of becoming an entrepreneur started. And I remember when I was about 19 years old, a brother took me to New York to get products, and even though I was still doing the wrong thing, I eventually got a stand downtown. So my first business was downtown Newark, not downtown Trenton. So I started with a stand downtown Newark in 1999. So that's what really sparked the interest and started with the entrepreneurship venture. But I didn't hold on to that because you talking about 20 something years ago. I'm 42 now. I was 19 at the time. And I was still trying to find my way in life. Eventually got arrested, had to go do some time, like a lot of black men in this country. But when I needed it the most, I picked it back up. And it started this business that's called Deals Deals Deals. Actually, it stands for something. Every D in Deals 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 stand for something. And I really was thinking about naming.
Go ahead.
I really was thinking about naming the business Drug Dealer's Dream, but I couldn't name it that, so I named it Deals, Deals, Deals. So every D in Deals, 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 the first D stands for drugs, the second one, Dealer's Dream. So that's the hidden meaning behind Deals, Deals, Deals. And the reason is Drug Dealer's Dreams is because I was a drug dealer, and my dream was to eventually stop selling drugs and become a legal entrepreneur. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So, and that was what? When you were 19 years old?
That was when I was 19 years old. I always had a dream about becoming legally an entrepreneur. Even when I was back then, I used to be in the 24-hour store, and I used to dream about owning something like the 24-hour store. But Deals, Deals, Deals didn't happen until like 20 years later.
Okay.
You've come a long way.
So what was the difference between being a street entrepreneur with them drugs and as you say, a legal entrepreneur? I mean, how are they similar? Are they different? That different or what?
I mean, it's similar as far as the hustle part, meaning that you have to get up every day and just trying to sell something. But that's the similarities. But as far as entrepreneurship, the difference is all the back end work that you have to do as an entrepreneur and to have as a legal business, the documents and all the stuff that you have to fill out, taxes and things like that. That's the difference. Illegally, you don't have to fill out no documents, of course, right? And you don't have to pay no taxes. I mean, it's still some similarities there because while you out there, you might have to pay somebody to be a part of something. So the main part that I seen is like, if I could sell this, I could sell anything. It's just a matter of getting up every day and not being scared of rejection. I believe that's what entrepreneurship is more about. Just not being scared of rejection and constantly going in spite of the results that you might be seeing right in front of you. And
Okay.
I
I
always
see.
say, I'm listening.
I've always looked at brothers out there on the street, and I see them, and I said, they about some of the hardest working people in the world.
Yeah,
Because they out
hard.
there all the time. You can't be no lazy man out there on them corners selling drugs. Because you got to be there when your customers come. And I've always had great respect for that work ethic.
Especially when you always there, boy.
Yeah, you gotta wake up and beat it. That's the part, the consistency and just being there. And I think that's for me. That's what has kept my business going is that I'm consistent. I'm always there, and I'm just keep pushing along. And I believe it's a battle between you and your customers, and just the people. Period. And some entrepreneurs they give up before the business actually take off, and that's the hard part, making it through the hard patches. Like you have different moments. Every day is not gonna be a a great day. You might have one day where you make $100, and then the next day you make $10. But even on the days you make $10, if you're there, that might be the day that sets you up to make that $100. The days that you think that you're not making nothing, where that's when sometimes customers might come in and just be looking. They may not get it on one particular day, but end up getting it the following day.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at every day as a successful day, and that keeps me motivated not to give up on certain days where it seems like nothing is happening. I believe every day something is happening. For example, Michael, I believe he came to the store today, right? About 3:15. Just an example. I don't know what he's seen. He probably like the money that he didn't give me in my hand today, he may give it to me next week. He probably seen something that caught his intention and his mind. But the average entrepreneur don't think like that when they first start. They want everything immediate, and it don't always happen immediately. It
The
takes a lot of
seaweed,
patience.
the
Huh?
seaweed, the seaweed, the natural deodorant, and I wait until you get that aunt. I need that
Okay.
aunt.
I'm gonna get him back in, definitely. Definitely. Just
Okay.
remind me. I definitely gotta get some unks in, because you're not the only one that comes for the unks. That's one thing that's been a lot of people are a lot of people look for it. And I think that's one of my little niche where I try to keep little things in the shop that you can't get a lot of other places. So I'm gonna tell you, one of my biggest motivation is really always been Walmart. That's why I sell so many different items. I never looked at nobody around me. I always looked at the bigger guys. I always ask myself, what makes Walmart so successful? And
They
the
good
reason that
Lord.
Walmart is so successful, because they got a big variety. It's hard to walk in Walmart and not buy something. And I figured, and in business school, they don't teach you how to be like Walmart. And I wonder why that is. They teach you how to have a target customer. And when I talked to a business specialist, they told me I was doing it all wrong, that I should have a special target customer. And where as they was talking to me, I was saying in my head, well, I don't see Walmart doing that. I don't see Amazon doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of followed more, instead of listening to expert, I kind of followed more of what I see as an example. and like the people around me. So especially in our community, sometimes we tend to what's the word? I wanna use the right word. We tend to look down on each other's success and don't want each other to succeed. And like we're always in competition with each other. And I believe that kind of helped me. I look not being in competition with the people that's closest to me and just look way beyond me. So that's why I always want to get more and more stuff, because I know the more you have, the more chances you have of selling. Basically,
what do you sell? I mean, what kind of merchandise do you sell?
I sell a lot of women's clothes, but I sell a variety of merchandises from women's clothing. That's what I have, a lot of women's clothing. I have women's pocketbooks. I have oils, so it's like it's spread out. It's a whole lot of different items, and each item is for a particular customer segment. For example, everybody that comes to the shop comes for different reasons. For example, your son just said he wants the unks and the soaps and the natural things. So he might come in for the soaps, the natural products, and the oils and sea moss and stuff like that, or black seed oils. We also have that. And but that's just one segment of the store, the natural products. And then after that, we have, like I was saying, we have the women's clothing, a lot of different coats, but most of the women clothing is clothing that's trending at the time. Every so often, we are in the computer age, I believe. Every so often something might be on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, or wherever that's just trending. And my job is to have those items on hand. And so when if somebody's going out today or tomorrow, they can hurry up and get it instead of waiting for it to come in the mail. And also I still have a few, not a lot. And that's what a few Afrocentric stuff. I used to sell a lot of it, but not as much anymore. And because that was trending when I first started in 2016. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that
we
you had a lot of that when I first met you. You know.
yeah, I was selling that because it was trending around that time. It's not trending anymore, so I don't sell as much of it.
Right.
And that was the whole idea. That kind of helped me to open my first store. And the reason I was selling Afrocentric stuff, because I knew it was trending, and I wanted to change my style of clothing. And it so happened, with me thinking about getting that stuff, I seen somebody on television wearing a dashiki, and all the rappers was wearing it around that time. So a lot of times the rappers in social media makes things popular. So,
Okay.
so it was popular, and I sold a bunch of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Very good. Now, I heard that
You also sell a lot of accessories.
say what? Michael, what you say? Michael?
My computer is freezing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I heard that someone told me you originally from Haiti.
I'm completely.
Yeah, I'm Haitian.
Haitian. You know, that is if my wife would allow me to, that's where I'd be living right now. You know, that's my favorite place in the world is Haiti. You know, I heard, I read late in life, as a matter of fact, I read about the Haitian Revolution, and I said, wow, I got to go to Haiti to pay my respects to these Haitian people, So I went to Haiti, and then I fell in love with the place. I said, wow, look at this, love the people, So if whenever you want to go, let me know, because I can go with you.
You gotta go with me.
I've been to Haiti, I don't know, 10, 12 times now,
See, that's the thing. You see, you've been to Haiti 10 or 12 times. You've been there more than me. My
Yeah,
mother and
well, I've been more than
father.
most Haitians.
Yeah,
you know?
I was born here, so I don't know much about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
You
I do
don't.
speak the language.
You do. Creole.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
speak Creole fluently. That was
Really?
my first language. Yep.
Okay. Well, that's
So that's
great. That's great.
that's
You gotta
good. That's
go, brother. You don't go to Haiti?
nah, I don't. I
Oh
don't.
man. Man, oh man. That's well, okay. Well, I just want to get that in there,
I
you
do
know.
want to go to Africa though.
Yeah,
I
well, that's a good place
I
too,
want to
you
go to,
know.
I want to go to Ghana. I heard Ghana is a good place to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, where do you get all your stuff from? You buy it on the internet or you have it?
Some stuff I have to order, but a lot of stuff I get from New York. I still use the same system I use. I still use a lot of the same system I used when I first started. I get on the train early in the morning and grab my stuff and try my best to be back on time to open the store at 10 o'clock. So usually I'm on the train by 6:01. I have everything written down that I need and coming back to Trenton by 10 o'clock. I don't always make it by 10, but I try to do that. So a lot of stuff I get from New York. That's where it started. And I still stick to it because some stuff sometimes when you never know when they're gonna have new stuff in New York and waiting to order it, you might be late in getting it. Some items, if it's trending and you could get it right then and there, you can do well with it.
Okay.
I've went and got some items that was trending on Friday. By the time I get there, Tuesday is gone.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah.
So you go out once a week?
I don't go as often as I used to go. I just basically go according to if I need stuff. I've learned since I've been in business, I've kind of learned how to stock up more to keep me from making those trips because those trips is not New
That's
York.
right. That's right.
So I've learned how to stock up a little bit more. Sometimes it's once a week, and it depends on the season. Sometimes it could be 3, 4 times a week. It depends. Like um, when it's when I'm getting into winter, then I go a lot. When I'm filling in for spring into summer, then I have to go a lot. But right now I'm settled in the winter season, so I'm stocked up with most of the stuff that I know that's gonna sell throughout the winter month. So now when I'm switching up into spring, I know I gotta stock up on t-shirts, low ankle socks. So that's when I'll probably be making a lot of trips just to stock up through the summer months. So it depends. It depends.
So how you get down there? You're probably in the most ideal location in the city of Trenton, right there on State and Broad Street. How do
Yes.
you wrangle that?
How did well, I guess it was from my beginning. I was selling stuff out there before I had a store. So the guy that owns the pizza store, I used to go in the pizza store and actually used to be selling stuff out of the pizza store. And he was watching me and he wanted me to get the location right next door to him. But I don't know, he really wanted me to be in the location, but they was doing taxes at that location. And he told me he wanted me to be there so bad. He said, "Why don't you come in after tax season, and when the tax season people come in, then you could close down." I'm like, I can't be down there for I have to be down there the whole time. And as soon as the people left, he told me about the location being open, and that's how I got there.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you have the ideal spot in the city of Trenton, right? That's,
Yeah. But I've
that's
started from it really because I started from the bottom. So a matter of fact, my store is is on the same corner from where across the street from where I used to sell out of my book bag out of. So I could literally look across the street and at the bus stop where I used to sit out every morning selling my items and remember my beginning days. So sometimes I look out the window and I just reminisce and see how far I've come from
so
just
you used to sell out of your book bag on the street. And what business was so good doing that it made you want to get a store? Or?
I mean, yeah, eventually I was growing more and more, started from a book bag, and then I was getting more items. But the money that I made some sacrifices. It was through money management and through taking some risks. Matter of fact, in order to open my first store, I did something that I didn't tell nobody, because I know if I told anybody what I was gonna do, they would have told me I was crazy. What I did was I stopped paying my rent. So I could save my money to open up the store. I didn't tell nobody, especially my mother. My mother would have said I would have went mad. And she would have said, I'm gonna be homeless where I'm gonna stay. I can't come stay with her. Which she would have been right, but I had a vision in my head that even if I become homeless, that the store would eventually fund for a better place for me to stay. And that's exactly what happened. A matter of fact, when I first got the store, it was in February of 2016. And this, I don't know what's going on with this February, but it was cold that February. I remember in February 2016. The first week I got this store, that's when the sheriffs finally locked my door.
Or
From
on
where
your
I,
apartment?
yeah, yep. I
Okay.
got notices. They said we coming.
Hey.
I know about that.
I got the notices, but I just was like, okay, whatever. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe they was coming, but they sure came and they said if you got such and such to get your stuff out. And it was a week after I got the store, and I end up having to sleep in back of the store for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. But a good friend of mine eventually, who was a very instrumental in helping me find the store. His name is Ron, an older gentleman. I didn't have a vehicle. He drove me around to look for the store. He drove me to Home Depot and stuff. Yeah, to help me get the stuff to set up the store. He let me stay at his house for a little bit, and he got on my nerves, so I left and went back to the back of the store.
The life of an entrepreneur. I know about it. I know about it well.
When,
Yeah.
when you have a vision, sometimes I always say that to the average person, it sounds crazy. It's best to keep it to yourself until it starts coming into fruition.
Okay, well,
Because
speaking of that vision, what are your future plans with deals, or just in general? I know you
right
just said keep
now,
it to yourself, but
nah, I got some stuff that I could speak about, but of course it would be to expand. I would like to, and I would like to be, because I'm still hands on. Eventually, I would like to be able to hire some people to run, to possibly run this location where I'm out building other locations and stuff like that. That's like the greatest. I believe that's the greater vision. I don't want to be on hands on forever. So during the time I've been building this business, I've been focused on building a system. So a system as far as with the inventory, with cameras and stuff. So when I do implement employees, that the system will be able to tell me what's going on with the business. So yeah, I would like to either expand. I like this location. Either get a bigger location from this one, or just get other small location. As a matter of fact, somebody today was talking to me about a location, and that's something that I have to try to learn. How do I expand with partners and stuff? Because I that's something that I would have to learn. So I'm gonna need some advice as far as somebody wants to partner with me as far as another location. I don't know if I still keep it under deals, or do I start something completely separately. But that's
It's on your
basically just,
mind.
huh?
It's on your mind.
I can't hear you.
I said it's on your mind.
Yeah, it's definitely on my mind, but right now I'm just still building the back end because I made a lot of mistakes, so I'm fixing a lot of stuff with with the business, and I fixed a lot of different things as far as tax stuff, and I just changed the name. As a matter of fact, it's not Deals 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 no more. As far as this year's Deals 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 LLC. Last year was Deals 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 with a S. Now it's Deals 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 with a Z. So it's different, and I didn't know that. I didn't know these things. I made a lot of mistakes, so I learned as I go.
Hey, that's the
And
name of the game. That's an entrepreneurial life, is learning as you go, you
yep,
know? And I
I
like
jumped.
you use the word system. Like you know, that's part of being in business is to build systems so that regardless of what happens, you know how it's supposed to happen. And when you get new people in there, you teach them your system and they follow it, you know? So
Yep,
that's
definitely.
important.
Now I learned that. I learned that. I mean, I don't know how. I guess the more that I'm an entrepreneur, the more I see how powerful our brain is. Because a lot of the things that like you'll be surprised. I have so thousands of items in the shop, right? And when I first started, I probably had 100 items, and every time I kept getting more items, I kept asking myself, how am I gonna be able to remember all these items? And the more items I kept getting, it seems like the more my brain grew, and the more my brain was telling me that I don't have that much. So now with so much in the shop, I'm surprised. Like if you would have took me when I first started and said, "Okay, here's all these products. You gotta remember where everything is at." I would have said, "You gotta be out your mind." But ironically, I know where everything in the store is at, and
Mm.
it's thousands of items now.
Why don't you tell everybody where you're located and how they can get in touch with you?
I'm located at 103 East State Street, Trenton, New Jersey.
103, right?
103 East State Street, Trenton, New Jersey, 08608. You can get in touch with me through Facebook, Jeffrey Augustin. That's my Facebook page, or you could go to Deals Deals Deals. Facebook page is still under Deals 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 with an S. Or you could stop at the shop Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm there every day and sometimes on Sunday. Contact me before you come on a Sunday because I consider Sunday as my freedom day, meaning that I'm free to do what I want. I might be there, I might not.
I heard
Yeah,
that. Well, brother, it's good to have you on here talking with us and letting people know your story. Know that they can go from here to there, but they got to work at it, right?
definitely. And you
Definitely.
gotta keep working at it to keep it.
That's right. That's
Right?
right.
Right?
All right, brother. We appreciate having you on the case with Kamau Kujichagulia. And good luck to you. It's 103 East State Street, right?
Yes.
Trenton, New Jersey.
Yep.
All right, brother.
08608.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And Jeff, keep doing what you're doing, brother, man. I'll see you. See you at your store soon. Coming to get that. Coming to get that CMOS and that deodorant. And I want my aunt, my
And I
nephew.
get
I
that
think
also
it was
for
my
you.
nephew that took my aunt and hid it somewhere from me. But I'm
I'm gonna
coming to
get
get
it
it.
for you. No
All right.
problem, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, take care.
Very good. Very good. Wow, that was an interesting story.
Very,
A very
very.
interesting story. As Dana said, it was a wonderful story. Thumbs up to him. Yes, thumbs up to the brother. He's
Yes,
worked hard to
sir.
get where he is, and he's still working hard to go even further.
He's had
To emulate Walmart and Amazon. I like that.
he's had that prime real estate for 7 years.
Yep.
Good job, Jeffrey. Good job, brother Augustine.
Right. State and Broad Street on the corner of State and Broad Street, 103 East State Street.
Deals, deals, deals.
Can't do much better than that. That's outstanding. Good to hear. Good to hear. Okay. Next week we have
Mr. Gene Bowie.
ooh, the brother.
Mr. Gene Bowie.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Everybody know Gene. Well, if you don't know Gene, he's member of the Trenton Board of Education. You know,
Mhm.
so we're gonna have. He's also Gene's an entrepreneur. He has his own business.
Yes, he does.
Some sort of counseling or business development or something. We'll find out next week exactly what the brother does.
Next
right?
week.
Hey, well, that's good. That's good. Let me see. Is there anything else? Any other housekeeping we have to do? Okay.
Not that I can think of, Pop. I think we're good.
Okay. Well, we want to thank everyone who's been with us. You know, thank you for sharing these minutes with us and sharing a tremendous story from Brother Augustin, my Haitian brother. Now, see, I just love Haitian.
I know you do. I know you do.
Love you for Haitian, so it's okay with me. So, okay, so I guess we'll see you next week, right, son?
Yes, sir. Next week, we're on the case with Kamau Kujichagulia, my pop.
You're
We'll
here
see
with
you
my
then.
son. Okay?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Good night, y'all.